While performing your warm-up exercise, you're going to begin by swiveling at your ankles. This increases the activity of the midline cerebellum, as the legs very powerfully relay stimuli into that midline area. You're going to swivel your ankles 10 times one way, then 10 times the other. This also swivels your knees as well. Place your hands in front of you for performing on the knee aspect for a little extra stability. Place your hands on your hips and rotate through the hips. This also activates cerebellar activity, but a little more lateral. If necessary, step a little bit wider for stability. Go nice and slow and smooth. Relax and focus on your breathing. Make sure you get some nice diaphragm breathing. Now you're going to relax as you pivot those hips, but keep the stomach slightly contracted. Now you're going to move into neck rotations. Nice and slowly begin with small rotations and then gradually increase the rotations 10 times each direction. It's important as you perform this exercise that you don't force any direction. If there's a certain area that's particularly tight, take your time moving through it and restrict the motion slightly until the area begins to relax. This exercise is important as it works the paraspinal muscles. The next exercise is the triangle pursuit. With this particular triangle exercise, you're going to place your fingers together forming a triangle. You're going to follow with your eyes around the edges of the triangle. At the same time, you're moving your head with your eyes. As you perform this exercise, you're using a pursuit mechanism as well as a vestibulo-ocular reflex for brain integration. Both of these are integrated through the cerebellum with the use of the parietal cortex and also the frontal area of your brain for refixation aspects. If you'll notice the illustrations provided through Mark Pick Creations, you can see the activities of the various parts of your brain that are involved in these exercises. Concentrate on your posture. Make sure you're holding your chest up as you're doing these exercises. This next exercise, you're going to focus your attention on your thumb extended out in front of you and slowly move your head in a clockwise fashion and then counterclockwise 10 times each way. This is specifically a vestibulo-ocular reflex as your eye is fixated on the thumb and your head is moving in each direction. Again, think of that image previously seen of the brain lighting up through the various activities. If you were to look at the suboccipital muscles, you would see various involvements of different muscles under the occiput. We now move into the pursuit mechanism. This is pure pursuit. As you move your hands in an infinity type pattern and follow the motion, you are using a pursuit mechanism with your eyes. Simultaneously, you're working your core stabilizers. Notice how your back is engaged as it stabilizes the movement of your arms. Make sure you keep your chest in an upright position and keep your stomach muscles tightly contracted as you perform this exercise. As you move from the sideways motion, you move to a forward and back motion. This again is a pursuit mechanism, but this incorporates vergence and divergent mechanisms. Involved in this process is the accommodation reflex, in which the pupil is constricted through the parasympathetic aspect and dilated through the sympathetic aspect in integrating near and far vision while you're also pursuing the moving target. This next exercise is the cross-crawl pattern. This is an important pattern you're going to get to know very well. You begin with a straight up and down. And you followed 5 patterns. The first pattern you're going to see coming up now, right arm, left leg, left and right leg, right arm, left leg. And you cross it over 45 degrees in. Then you're going to cross it out 45 with your arm and leg. Then you can go straight sideways. And one arm forward, one leg back. Watch it up, up. Then you're going to cross your opposite arm and leg in. You're going to cross the arm and leg out at 45 degrees. Then you're going to go straight sideways. Half a jumping jack. Then one arm forward, one leg back. Nice and slow. Left arm, right leg. Then you lift the right arm and the left leg. And you're going to cross over the middle. Left arm, right leg. Then you cross over the middle. Right arm, left leg. Now we're going to go out 45 degrees with your opposite arm and leg. Lift your right arm out now, and then your left leg out. And now you're going to go straight sideways like half a jumping jack. Left arm, right leg. And then right arm, left leg. And you finish with the fifth one, putting your left arm forward, right leg back, right arm forward, left leg back. This is a very important brain integration exercise. Works your right brain and left brain simultaneously in a mixed pattern for complex emotions. If you get a little confused, just pick one and just work on that one each day until you begin to master the motions, and then you'll be able to do the transitions. It is not anticipated that you will have this under control the first few times that you do it. But again, as we indicated in the beginning of this production, the idea behind this is to have this a work in progress as opposed to the first time you go through it, it being a training video. Next, you're going to get on your hands and knees to perform the abdominal hollowing exercise. The first part of this exercise is contracting your abdominal muscles in a sucking in type motion. This evokes the transverse abdominis, which co-contracts with the multifidus muscle. That's followed by a cross extension exercise, lifting your right arm, left leg, and then left arm, right leg, and holding each for 10 seconds, maintaining the contraction of the abdominal muscles, and be sure that you're breathing. Note as you breathe in this holding position that you feel the lower ribs expanding. This inflates the lungs and expands the rib cage in a positive manner to facilitate better breathing. Nice and slow with the breathing and deliberate. You're actually going to move into a position where you're laying on your back. This is a supine position. You're going to place a small ball underneath your head and slowly extend on the ball. It's useful if you keep the ball inflated about 3/4 full. It allows a little more flexibility with the ball. Slowly lifting the head in extension, keeping your hips down and arching your back. Nice and smooth with the extension. Move in a pattern a range that's comfortable. As you get stronger, you'll be able to lift your back into a higher arch. Then you're going to turn onto your left side, and you're going to push your head straight into the ball in an arching fashion. Be mindful that you don't turn your head, but you simply push it straight into the ball. Straight into the ball. This evokes your cervical paraspinal muscles as well as your low back muscles. If you were to look at my neck muscles at close-up, you'd see those involved. If you were looking at an oscilloscope, you'd see the neck muscles contracting, and you'd see a spike as the neck contracts. Then you can move back onto your back again. Then push. Nice and smooth. Concentrate on toning your stomach, taking your time. Now turn on to your right side. Push your head straight into the ball. Carefully, very slowly. Again, if you were to see a close-up of my neck, you would see those muscles contracting. Also, while you're pushing your head into the ball, if you were to measure the activity, as you can see on this oscilloscope, your low back muscles are also engaged in this process. This is a very good exercise for working the intrinsic back muscles without directly loading them. Now you've completed your warm-up. You'll be moving into your leg routine. Okay, with respect to the leg day, we begin by performing squats with the bands. So this is important that you start this exercise properly. You're going to stand up straight on the band. So put it under one foot, bring the arms up into the position as if you're doing military press, and hold that posture and slowly extend your body by straightening your legs up and down. And it's important that you breathe out as you push up with your legs and breathe in as you go down. Emphasizing chest up and good posture. Again, you can vary the load by how much you pre-stress the band that you've selected. You want to squat down to where your buttock is about the height of where you would be on a chair. You do not want to go any deeper than having your thighs be parallel to the floor. Otherwise, it puts too much strain on your knees. This exercise is paired with the ankle alphabets. You're going to balance on one leg and spell the alphabet with your other leg. This emphasizes, when you're using the right leg, the left cortex and the right cerebellum for the smooth execution of the movement. You may do uppercase, lowercase, or cursive, or all of the above. If you're not able to stand on one leg for balance, due to balance challenges, hold onto a chair or some supporting object while you perform this exercise. After you've performed the ankle alphabet on each ankle, then repeat your squat routine. The emphasis is reaching your butt talk back as if you were going to sit into a chair. That will enable you to maintain your balance, keeping your feet shoulder width apart. Perform a nice, smooth 10 to 12 repetitions. And then follow with another set of ankle alphabet with each leg. In addition to working the ankle intrinsic muscles, this also has a activating effect on the paraspinal shunt stabilizers in the low back area. If you were to reach your free hand into the low back area and feel your muscles while performing that exercise, you would feel the reflex activity of your muscles as they shunt the activity of your ankle. This will improve, again, midline cerebellar integration of your lower extremity. It also gives you a little time to take a breather from the squat exercise, which is one of the most demanding aerobic exercises and anaerobic challenges. And then that will move us to the calf and anterior leg combination routine. Initially, you'll perform this sitting on the floor. Tie your band into a circle and then place it in a figure 8 around your feet. Then you will bring one leg towards your chest and the other leg is straight, and you'll emphasize calf first. Do 10 slow repetitions. And then you're going to pull your toe of your other foot, the leg that's elevated, towards your head, which will emphasize the anterior leg. Then you'll switch leg positions and do the opposite, working the left calf and then the left anterior leg. This requires a little dexterity. For a more advanced workout with this exercise, you may do it by laying and lifting your legs off the floor, which will engage aspects of your abdominal muscles in stabilizing activity. You'll move next to the abduction exercise, or ankle eversion, inversion. And you're going to do that by first putting the leg bands again in figure 8 fashion and emphasizing the ankles moving away from the midline into the eversion. This is excellent for strengthening the outside aspect of your lower leg. Those of you that may have experienced an ankle sprain in the past will find this exercise particularly beneficial for increasing ankle stability. This is followed by the inversion exercise. By crossing your legs over, you're able to emphasize that part of the muscles in the leg that bring your ankle inward. You'll perform 10 of these. And then you'll move your legs in an uncrossed fashion and repeat the eversion. You'll move your legs in the uncrossed fashion and then perform the anterior and posterior leg exercise. Again, as emphasized, you may do it in a more advanced fashion by lifting your legs up off the floor and working your abdominal muscles simultaneously with your feet to further emphasize core stabilization. then you'll repeat the ankle eversion and inversion exercise. 10 repetitions on each side. Next, we move to the adductors and hamstring exercises. The adductors are strengthened by lying on your back on the floor and placing the physio ball between your knees and squeezing your knees together on the ball. This will emphasize the strengthening of the inner thigh muscles and also add to some paraspinal and lumbar stabilization. Make these squeezes slow and smooth. You exhale as your knees come together on the ball and inhale as you release the tension. Perform a good 10 to 12 repetitions. Then you can change positions and put the ball under your legs and push downward into the floor. This will emphasize your posterior leg muscles, emphasizing hamstring activity. It will also engage your gluteus muscles as well as your lumbars as they stabilize you. These coupled movements are excellent for overall spinal integration and stabilization. You exhale as you push your legs into the ball and inhale as your legs come away. Try to emphasize 1 second of press at the end. Just pause for a second while you keep the tension on the ball before you release the pressure. Make sure you emphasize your breathing. Exhale as you push in and breathe in as your legs are relaxing on the ball. Next, we pair the abdominal hollowing on the ball with the abdominal press into the ball. So first you'll assume the position on the ball, one hand down, one leg down, in a cross extension type exercise. Again, emphasizing as before, neck and extension, arm up, leg up, holding your stomach tight. And then you lean forward on the ball and you're going to push your elbows with full force into the ball. This will emphasize your abdominal muscles and your lats. This co-contracture of abdominal lats is very useful in firing deep spinal muscles. Although this emphasizes primarily the abdominals. This allows you to gain greater strength in your abdomen than you might gain doing sit-ups on the ball or the floor, because when you're doing sit-ups, you're only working against gravity and the weight of your torso. With this exercise, you're able to emphasize greater press on your lats and your abdomen into the ball. That ball that you're working on will sustain 600 pounds of weight before it bursts, so you're safe.